thanks for tuning in to the Crush It Trading Recap Show for Thursday, November 7th, 2024. Today was an absolute success, crushing with a gain of $16,064, and November is definitely shaping up to be a great month using the Crush It Trade strategy. Now, today we had fewer setups, but I was able to pull together some gains piece by piece to reach the $16,000. I'm going to break down each one of those exactly on how we did that in just a moment. But do me a favor and click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, right now would be a perfect time to subscribe and come trade the Crush It Trade strategy with us. All right, here we go. And the trade of the day was, there it is, NVIDIA, Tesla, and AMD, $16,064. Now, where do I start here? Let's start with NVIDIA. This was the first trade of the day. Had a really nice setup on continuation to the upside. We broke that 5-minute candle here, and we had a retest come in at about 9:45. You can see right here. And this is where I got in to this trade, right about 950-ish. And I took this to the upside, got out at the Crush It zone. That was my very first win, a nice big win. And so it was a nice size. So what I decided to do is invest a little bit of that into another trade and ended up taking NVIDIA and AMD. I'll get into NVIDIA first since we're here, to the downside. So I was at the Crush It zone here. I had to put these arrows in here because there's so much stuff going on here. I had to remind myself of where this was at. So right here at about 1024, I took some more contracts to the downside into some impulsive move. You can see here in the 10-second. I had the 9-day cross over the 20-day to the downside. Now, I wasn't looking for a huge move. I just thought I'd get a nice move down through the Crush It zone at the 0.618. It never quite made it. It was kind of slow moving, a little choppy. But I ended up getting up most of this trade here, right down here at the 50-day. When we hit the 50-day the first time here, and we got down here the second time, I decided just to get out of this trade, thinking that we were going to bounce up from here again. And that was the NVIDIA trade. And let me see, that was it on NVIDIA. Then I had AMD, which I had a few trades on here. Now I got to try to remember these trades I had. I had the first trade at the Crush It zone at 1025 right here. So I got in for a move to the upside on NVIDIA, and it took a little bit of time. I got a retest here. I added to the position here, and the reason is because my predictor is showing buy zone right here. So I thought, okay, well, I thought maybe we might get the VWAP. It didn't get there. So I added the position here again at 1114, ended up scaling out at the top of the zone with most of it, and then took most of my contracts off here at this move below the 20-day. Once again, I had a pretty big size at that time, maybe like $11,000 or something like that. So I didn't want to give some of that back. And so I was happy kind of chipping away here at these trades. And then I had another one on AMD. I just got to remember where it is here now. It was another move to the upside. It was right here at, yeah, we did finally hit the VWAP here. And then I took it again at about 1135 for a move to the upside. Looking for high a day. We didn't quite get to the high a day, but I put this level in here at 149 and decided to take most of it off the table here at 149, which I'm glad I did because you can see it kind of came back and moved to the downside after that. And then the last trade that I took was right here on Tesla. This one here was driving me crazy. You see, we got in to this trade. We had a nice move to the upside here. Very strong move to the upside. And I had this ascending trend line where we had some rejection off of, and I was looking for a retest of this level I had marked at 296.17. It was a pretty good level, a key level, because you can see that we moved off it a few times. But when I got in here, it kind of chopped around, so I was hanging on to this for a while. I didn't think it was ever gonna come around, and so finally I took this right up here on these tweezer candles right up here, or these tweezer tops, if you want to call them. I finally got out up here with a small win. Obviously, looking at it, I should have stayed in longer, but once again, I was getting very impatient. It's Thursday, we're close to Friday, so I took Friday's expirations and just decided to get out with the $16,064. I did really good on this trade, but I could have done a lot better had I hung on to it. But look at how choppy this is right here. Now, when you're in the chop, you know, theta can eat away at your premium, and so you got to be careful on that too. So, all right, let's look at the watch list and see what else took place today. So there you have it. AMD. We just talked about this one. We had a decent trade off the Crush It zone here. I took this one here. We had another one too. So you could have taken a few trades off the crush zone to the upside on AMD and had some pretty good winning trades. Now, they're not really big moves, maybe like we're used to seeing, but they're definitely some decent moves. Amazon was decent. I didn't take this one. I know a few people in the room talked about it and they took it and got stopped out, which is fine. I mean, you're not going to win every single trade, right? So they had gotten stopped out on this trade here. I didn't take it. And the reason why I did not take Amazon off the crush zone is just because, the amount of money we have right here. I think it was like 30 or 40 cent move. And, you got Thursday theta, and I don't know. I just didn't think it was worth the risk to the reward to take it. I wanted to focus in on other things, and I was focusing in on AMD, Tesla, and NVIDIA, anyways. But so Amazon wasn't a good trade for me. And then Meta, I just wanted to show you that we had a all right move off the crush zone to the downside. Took place at about 11:55. So you could have done well. You could have got a scale out there, but you would have gotten stopped out on Meta too. And then we didn't really have anything on Apple. Now, originally, again, on Apple today, I was looking for a strong move to the upside, and we didn't get that after the 5-minute candle, so I kind of turned away from Apple for the day. But, it did end up moving to the upside. Slow mover, but it did end up moving, so I didn't do anything on Apple. And then here is that I took the continuation to Tesla to the upside here. Or was it NVIDIA? I can't even remember anymore. It was NVIDIA, sorry. This was the move on Tesla right here. A couple moves on Tesla at the crush zone. You could have gotten that crush zone trade right here pretty easy. And then the move that I was talking about here just recently was this continuation for NVIDIA to the upside. And to me, out of all these moves today, NVIDIA probably had the best move, the best retest of that 5-minute candle to the upside. So a really, really, really good move on NVIDIA. Did really well today. And there was a few other setups within the crush zone also. So, we don't always get what we want, right? So 90% of the time, or 70, 80% of the time, we're going to see some really good, clean moves off the crush zone. But today was just one of those days where, I wasn't going to trade in the small account. I traded in the big count. I took a little bit of risk. I had some ability to do that. And I'm a very aggressive trader, so I'm not afraid to take some chances. And I have the account to do it, right? If you don't have the account to be risky, then you can't be risky, right? So, like I said, I'm a little bit of an aggressive trader, so it worked out for me today with the $16,064. And, if you want to learn the crush trade strategy, click the link below, sign up. We have a special offer right now for the end of the year, a very inexpensive way to get into the trading room and learn the crush trade strategy. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. All right, take care, have a good evening, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.